is this change such a big deal for veterans?
Because this change here, it actually impacts over 1 million veterans. Okay, there's gonna be over 660,000 that are automatically gonna qualify, right? But guess what, veterans? There's close to 500,000 who needs to submit an application to be reconsidered. So the expiration of the timeline to be able to reinstate your benefits for the month's purposes, that doesn't matter. You qualify. So make sure, again, that you have a strategic plan to be able to get that enacted.
Veterans, do not leave these benefits on the table. These benefits are here to empower you, for you and your family, and you deserve these benefits.
Veterans who have utilized their education benefits could have expanded benefits plus more. Tune in to know what's moving forward.
Hello and welcome to the Prepare to Compete podcast, where we talk all things VA benefits, real estate, entrepreneurship, and more. And today's episode dives into the latest updates to the GI Bill, including some exciting changes that could mean more benefits for eligible veterans. Now, I'm your host, Kayvon Jones, and I'm joined with the expert himself, Mr. Kenneth Davis. How are you feeling about today's topic?
Kayvon, I am pumped and ready to educate. Veterans, this is huge. This is big news for the updates in regards to the GI Bill. Veterans who have utilized their education benefits could have expanded benefits plus more. Tune in to know what's moving forward.
All right, let's get right into it, Kenneth. So now, can you actually break down some of the biggest changes that veterans need to know about?
Yes. So veterans, listen, the GI Bill is a benefit that is going to offer you education benefits, who's going to pay for, again, your college tuition, on-the-job training, trade school tuition, things of that nature. Is going to be able to provide you for purposes of employment, okay? If you're a veteran who have served during one period of active duty service that actually transitions from the Montgomery GI Bill to the post 9/11 GI Bill, this could affect you and your family, okay? If you're a veteran who has multiple periods of service, who actually has 2 periods of military service that both GI Bills are then enacted, well, guess what? You can have an additional 12 months of benefits added to your actual education benefits of the post 9/11 GI Bill or Montgomery GI Bill, whichever, again, they then tend to enact.
Wow, this is truly fascinating stuff here. But of course, sometimes, within the veteran community, there are some, questions and skepticism, because there's always so many different changes, right? But, why is this change such a big deal for veterans?
Because this change here, it actually impacts over 1 million veterans. Okay, there's going to be over 660,000 that are automatically going to qualify, right? But guess what, veterans? There's close to 500,000 who needs to submit an application to be reconsidered. So veterans, listen, if you're a veteran who just doesn't know if you qualify or not, please just go submit the application. All right. And also, under the old rules, we have to understand that you only had 36 months of education benefits. This is actually pushing it out to 48 months. Okay. And if you meet that criteria, you're going to be maximizing your educational opportunities. Again, that is then going to be able to serve you and your loved ones.
Wow. That is some great information there. So this all, of course, sounds incredible, right? But what veterans need to know in that 1.2 million, who exactly qualifies for this expansion and what do they exactly need to do?
So understandably, listen, veterans, okay, this was, again, a Supreme Court decision, all right? So we really need to unpack and narrow down this information. All right. So if you're a veteran who served at least 2 periods of active duty service, one must be eligible for the Montgomery GI Bill, and the other needs to be eligible for the post 9/11 GI Bill. Well, guess what? The VA will automatically, again, reinstate your benefits. But are we going to wait for that? I don't think we should. Because if you're a veteran with only 1 period of service who actually goes through the Montgomery GI Bill and transfers their benefits to the post 9/11 GI Bill, well, guess what? Are you going to be automatically qualified? Well, not necessarily such. You may need to submit an application. Okay, you may need to submit your application for reinstatement. Okay, that review is going to be, again, under va.gov. You need to submit an application because, again, this is a huge, impactful decision that has come down.
Absolutely. So now you're saying if someone actually thinks they're eligible and they're just not sure because they haven't been contacted yet, they need to go ahead and fill out that application.
Yes, I think you should fill out the application no matter what, just to have a re-review, just to be able to be on the safe side, right? But also, I will also give the VA a call to make sure that you are or are not, okay? So with under the GI Bill, this is going to be so impactful, so just be sure.
No, absolutely, for sure. So now let's kind of get into the practical impact of this, right? So now let's talk real life impact as far as how these additional benefits are going to be able to help our veterans.
Well, listen, these additional benefits are going to be able to affect and serve our veteran community because there's so many different veterans who are looking for employment to make sure they are, receiving adequate financial and stability with also a sense of purpose. And this is going to be able to provide that, right? By being able to obtain a degree, right? A college degree, obtaining any type of certifications, supporting family members with their education. And mind you, remember, these benefits can be transferred to family, right? Again, dependents, spouse, children. So that is a big cushion that is going to cover your tuition, that is going to cover books, housing stipend, and so on and so forth. So please, veterans, take advantage of this, and the time is now. Do not wait. Take advantage at any cost, all right?
No, absolutely. That's great stuff, Kenneth. So now, obviously, everyone watching has questions, right? They're trying to go down to their va.gov account right now and see what's going on. So first up, that question, right? How can veterans know whether they're eligible for these benefits?
Well, first and foremost, let's go to the easiest access point that we have. What did I say? Records. Let's go ahead and figure out, again, in your DD-214, what were your periods of service? Okay, explain. Understandably, you must have 2 periods of service that actually qualifies for the Montgomery GI Bill and 1 that qualifies for the post 9/11. So with that being said, does your period of service apply? Secondary, right? Let's go ahead and figure out if you don't have 2 periods of service and you only have 1. Well, does that 1 period of service actually pushes you for the MGI Bill? Okay, and that's what they called it at the time, Montgomery GI Bill, transitioning to the post 9/11, right? And if so, again, you may qualify. But next step, let's actually go into va.gov to under our educational tab to be able to check the remaining amount of benefits. Okay, by checking the remaining amount of benefits that you may have, and if you qualified for the post 9/11, or if you qualified for the Montgomery GI Bill, and now you could then actually be eligible for the remaining 12 months. That's huge and one big ordeal. Listen, you guys. This is very, very huge. Listen, if you are a veteran who was under the Montgomery GI Bill and you were actually transferred your benefits into the post 9/11, well, guess what? You have an additional 90 days on top of that. Okay, so that's 15 months that's going to be enacted on your behalf. So let's take advantage. Okay, don't wait. All right, though that you have to October 1st, 2030 to apply. Well, we don't know what that eligibility criteria may fluctuate. So go get your benefits reinstated now.
No, absolutely. And that actually kind of led to the next question, right? So if someone's benefits expired, can they still access the new benefits for the GI Bill?
If the benefits expired, well, guess what? If you have the goose egg, you do qualify. Okay. So if you have zero benefits that is for left over, if you have 0 months, okay, 0 months and 0 days, well, you still qualify. Okay. So the expiration of the timeline to reinstate, to be able to reinstate your benefits for the month's purposes, that doesn't matter. You qualify. Okay. So make sure, again, that you have a strategic plan to be able to get that enacted.
No, absolutely. And thinking about being strategic here, we want to make sure our veterans maximize their benefits. That's first and foremost what we want to make sure. So what's the best way for veterans to maximize these new benefits?
Well, there's several different strategies to maximize these benefits. It's going to be, again, one is going to be based upon your actual planning of your degree or certification, or even on-the-job training. Do not forget, this can be able to be applied to on-the-job training as well, pending on, again, when we talk about the GI Bill, pending on obviously the job at hand. But again, that's something that's a little more nuanced, which we would have to, unveil, uncover, and kind of really be able to provide that actual plan, right? But at the end of the day, these benefits can be strategically applied based upon your goals. What your goals is, it matters to you. So at that point, we don't want to give a strategic plan if we don't have your details. So you can contact us where we can be able to provide that and actually get a little bit more information.
Wow, Kenneth, very, very powerful information here. Before we actually wrap up for today, veterans that are watching, again, if you know anyone that may qualify for these benefits, definitely let them know. Go ahead and send them this video here, because we want to make sure the entire community is educated regarding this potential new update. So even if you are unsure, you want to still inquire and get those questions answered. But we want to continue to add value, right? So our veterans need to know. It's like, well, yeah, I can go to va.gov, I can call, I can do this. And we always talk about there's always a prescribed form. So what form do veterans need to look towards to actually apply for these benefits?
So listen, veterans. Just as any other, prescribed form that we utilize, we must complete wholly and thoroughly. Okay, so with this form, if you're trying to reinstate the benefits, you want to go ahead and fill out the form and complete the form of 22 TAC 1995. Okay, again, that's 22 TAC 1995, and that's for a reinstatement or a reenactment of your actual GI Bill benefits. But if it's your first time, if it's you actually applying for your GI Bill, well, that's going to be 22 TAC 1990. Okay, for purposes of this video and for the update, majority of those veterans who are getting those 12 months reinstated, you're 9 times out of 10 going to be completing the 22 TAC 1995. Okay, which again is going to be available over va.gov, but also obviously there's a manual form that you can be able to fill out and complete as well. Okay, so if you have that opportunity, please share the information.
Kenneth, very, very well said. Veterans, do not leave these benefits on the table. These benefits are here to empower you, for you and your family, and you deserve these benefits.
Veteran, now is the time to empower you and your brothers and sisters in arms. Take full advantage of the benefits that you have actually accessed. You did the service, so now it's time to access your benefits. Again, we are here to serve. We're here to provide service not only to you, but to other veterans as well. Let's educate, let's support, and let's continue to empower. With that being said, Thanks for tuning in to Prepare to Compete. Until next time, we're out. Peace.